Welcome to another laruan ni Obi-Wan action figure. No, it's not going to be a recipe video, but a weathering action figures video. Okay, so weathering made easy. So I've already shown it on my thumbnail. So we're going to talk about this item. Okay, so a testament to this item's effectiveness on an action figure. Okay, so our Delta Core Punisher action figure. So let's do a quick 360. For those of you guys who are watching this video on a smart TV, so you could really take a look at the definitions and details on the action figure. Okay, so there are 1,000 ways, actually different methods of weathering action figures that are available on YouTube. Okay, but I've only seen a few with regards to the usage of items like this, and actually ones that would really show how this is applied to an action figure and the end result. So this is going to be that video. Okay, so we already have an end product on board. So we weathered out one of our action figures. Actually, this item was recommended to me by a friend, another moderator of this channel. So okay, so you have my wife as my moderator of this channel, and just in case my wife goes to out of town or what, I have a second moderator on board that takes over screening the comments section. Okay, so weathering set, going back to topic, available at Hobby Lobby, price of $4.99. And as to colors, okay, these are 3 sets. So I already opened one. Actually, I borrowed one, or my friend let me borrow one to apply or tinker with my action figure. Okay, so this we already opened. So the color is going to be sand, light sand, mud. Now the other set is going to be this. So okay, so let's adjust the light. Rust, metal, and silver, and snow, soot, and rust. Okay, so this is a no-brainer weathering method, unlike other methods wherein it takes a little bit of time. And yeah, so this, some material might rub off when you play with your action figure, but it's easily retouched. That's it. And with regards to weathering, you would like this material to take refuge in the cracks and crevices of the details on the action figure. So even if you touch your action figure, actually I already played with this yeah, so right after work and even before making this video, so I could note that yeah, there's some rub off of material, but nothing on the seam lines or the crevices or the edges or the details on the action figure. Okay, so this is already a played with action figure with this item on. Okay, because this is an item that you use with model planes, model tanks, and yeah, those model kits. But action figures, I think I'm the first one who did this, or possibly if you guys already did the method or tried this item, then good for you. Okay, so there you go. So let's take a look at how this thing is from the inside. Okay, so once you take it out of packaging, so it's going to be like your wife's eyeliner. Okay, so this is a fresh set. So the other set that I use is somewhere on the Kitbash table. I have to return it to my moderator. Okay, so if you're watching this video, once it is already posted, don't worry, boy. I'm going to replace it with this new one, this particular set. So I'm keeping the one that you let me borrow, and I'm going to give you a fresh set. Okay, so applicator brush, there you go. Okay, so as for the brush types, there you go. So 1 and 2, and you would still need this is going to be used primarily for application on the action figure, but you would still need a bigger brush, something like this, something that is not also nice or fine, and something that is also a little bit coarse, or even something smaller in nature. But with regards to applying this item to this action figure, I use these two brushes, because the smaller brushes that I use, the ones used for painting, actually it took off the weathering material, because of the finer brush. Of course, it's going to seep into the brush head, brush bristles is going to seep into the finer details, and yeah, so useless effort. So better use items like this. So you're just going to brush it lightly off the action figure. Okay, so one that is fine and one that is a little bit coarse, and this is going to be your applicator. Okay, so we have our action figure on the table. This is going to be our test subject. Okay, so because we already made the weathering on this action figure. Okay, so for my Nick Fury, my Valaverse, Marvel Valaverse Nick Fury action figure. Okay, so my Kitbash version of Nick Fury. Okay, Nick Fury Tactical. So yeah, little bit of weathering more on this action figure. Okay, so we're going to use this set. So a combination of a little bit of soot and rust. Okay, so we already have the applicator. Okay, there you go. Okay, so we have material on the brush, and we're just going to do this. Okay, so the pants would look a little bit worn. Okay, so drowning out the look of the plastic. Okay, left and right motions. Okay, so we're going to let that material settle into the fine details on the pants, because the pants is just way too bright. Okay, so we're weathering it down a little bit. Okay, so on these two, so I hope the camera catches the difference. So actually non-stress weathering application. Okay, instead of the older methods wherein too much work. This is much more stress-free. Okay, just have that little brush on, and it's going to, the material is going to settle on the very small fine lines and cracks and details on the plastic. Okay. Yeah, and the butts to the butt cheeks. Butt cheek. There you go. Okay, so sometimes I have to grammatically correct myself. Okay. Wow. This thing is really taking in material. Okay, so we need to apply some more. Okay, so to just dampen out that look. Okay, so also on the crotch area and just above the belt line. Oh, okay. Yeah, good, very good. Okay, so some more. I want that to be darker. Especially on the knee of the action figure. Of course, you're going to climb walls, scale walls, or fences, or whatever. Or you're going to take firing positions at knee level or something. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Yeah. So I hope that you guys could really take note of the difference this time, because I can see it right now. Okay. Now on the boot. Okay, so yeah. So easy way to clean a brush in a way that is just powder. Okay, so yeah. So the excess material is going to settle on my palm. So we're going to use the rust to weather the boots a little bit. Okay. Now, okay, so we've got brown material there. Okay. So just your wife's eyeliner, so the method is actually just the same. Oh wow, okay. So actually this is fun to do because it's stress free. Unlike the wax method or the yeah, I also use this method wherein I would shade with a sketching pen some of the details on the action figure and use a thumb to spread the material out. Okay, but with this, just a brush. Okay, so yeah, I hope that the camera this time really catches the change in details. Okay, so we're going to apply material also on the battle belt. Okay, so no need to be really extra cautious as to what the brush would hit. Just brush it on and leave it on. Okay, and if with your when you play with the action figure some materials wear off, then take the material take your palette and just brush a little bit on and put it on display. Okay, so that easy. Okay, there you go. Okay, so do you see the change in details, guys? So the darker plasticky material, so the details now would really show on camera. Okay, there you go. Okay, so I think yeah, I think this is good on the pants too. Okay, so let's put some on the pants. Okay. Nice. Okay, So combination of that black soot material, this. Oh, I like this. Okay, so which is this? The rust. Okay, so we're going to apply it on the shirt this time. Okay. So we're going to take off the rifle so we could put material on the shirt, and also we're going to paint that rifle. Okay, not paint but brush that rifle. Okay, have to grammatically correct myself again. Okay, so there's still material on the brush. Yeah. Okay. Especially on the details on that on the shirt. Okay, here you go. So on the side. Okay, let's make use of this. So on that section. Okay, still the rest. Okay, so there. Okay, nice. Okay, so back to the soft bristled brush. So on the sleeves of the shirt, no need to apply this material on the skin of the action figure or the face or the head. But with the Punisher figure, I applied a little bit of material on the cheeks. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Okay. So a little bit more. So there's going to be emphasis on the details. And if you applied much on one area, it's just going to be easy. So just take your thumb and swipe away. Yeah. Okay. But with this, there you go, guys. Okay, so it's really taking on the details on the action figure. Now with the weapon. Okay, so we're already done with the action figure. So this time we're going to weather down the weapon. Okay, so I think the rust material is not so good on this color. Okay, so we're going back to the suit. Okay, so let's take off the excess material of the brush. Okay, so let's check. Yeah, we're good. No need to be really extra cautious with this. Unless of course you're using your wife's kit. No, you have to be really cautious. But with this item, okay, just brush on, brush off, brush on, brush off, brush on, brush off. So we're still in the brush on face. Okay, so there you go. So much noted difference. The lines on the rifle are much more pronounced. Okay, so let's go heavy this time. Okay, by taking much more material on the palette. Okay, now that's a lot of material. Okay, so we're really going to dampen out the color, the flat dark earth color. Okay, nice. There you go. Okay, wow, this thing is really taking on the... Okay. Okay. So it's darkening the tone of the color of the rifle from a very bright FDE color to a more subdued tone this time. Okay, there you go. And yeah, let's clean the brush a little bit. And let's take the other set. Oops, we're going to give this. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so yeah, we're filming anyway. I won't take off much from your set, boy. Okay, there you go. Okay, so let's use this. Okay, and that is going to be the mud. Okay. Oh, okay, now the different hue. Nice. Okay, more subdued. Okay, so let's try a little bit on the action figure. Especially on this area. Okay. So mixing two colors. Okay, that's nice. So on the shirt. And down to the pants. Okay. There you go. So checking it out. So I think we are already good. So with the two brushes, we're going to use the softer bristled one. Okay, just to brush off a little bit of excess material actually, but not much. Okay, as you could see guys, I'm handling the action figure. Okay, there we go. So a more weathered look for the figure, and let's brush a little bit of the weapon, or let's do this trick or technique. Okay, just tap that so the material is going to take form on the details of the rifle. Anyway, if it comes off, then we could easily have the palettes to retouch. So what's nice about this is, as you could see, it isn't very messy. Okay, so you could see the colors on my fingers, especially on this area where I used this area as my my brush cleaning pit. Okay, there you go. Okay, so actually that is from the application. Okay, so let's try to wipe it off on my pants. Ta-da! Okay, so that's more clean, and we're going to handle the action figure. Okay, now there you go. So we're going to do this, and of course we're handling the action figure, and we're not being careful about taking off material, as you could see guys. Okay, back to its pose. Okay, there you go. Okay, so let's take off the weathering set that we have and adjust the camera and the angle of the camera. Okay, and let's take a look at the end product. Okay, so let's adjust that pose of the action figure. Yeah, Nick Fury Tactical. Oop. Okay, there you go. So, marked difference from a very plasticky look for the action figure to a more subdued tone. Actually, there's with the first one, there's really marked difference, as you could see. Okay, so there you go. So these two action figures are weathered down. So not only good for model kits, so you could also use this with your G.I. Joe Classified Series vehicles. So you have a material that you could weather down if you want a weathered look for the vehicle. Anyway, it's just going to stand on your shelf, and after about a week, it's going to gather dust. So you brush it off and some material would come off, then just retouch it. Yeah. And if you want to sell said item or said action figure or said vehicle, then rub the weathering material off and sell the item at a price of your choice. Right? Options, options, options. So there you go. If you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And share this video. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.